Hey, what's up guys? So this video is going to be kind of a more in-depth explanation of my previous video where I give a deck profile of the Cliffos and I explain why I really like to run 3 killer, and it's going to be a more in-depth explanation because a lot of people are arguing in the comment section below. Now, of course, when I make my deck profiles, when anyone makes their deck profiles, it's all personal preference. But for me, I really think that this is much better to play 3 copies of, because basically in the video I do explain multiple times, and dropping this card early on in the mirror match definitely gives you a huge advantage and it secures victory. Very, very rarely will anyone be able to actually beat you after you dropped your killer first. If they're dropping their killer second, they usually end up losing anyways, and it's very difficult for them to even drop killer after you've already gotten out your killer, and then you're going to make them go -1. So let me go ahead and explain it to you guys in a more broad sense as far as Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, we only play 3 Tool, right? Now, we also play 3 Summoner's Art, we also play Azneyeswhitedragon, Pendulum Dragon, and most variants, and there's also the Cliff Oath Sacrifice. Now, we play all these cards essentially to really search out this guy. Now, even after we've already gone through all 3 copies of these, this card is completely useless, but it doesn't matter because we just want to get out this card as fast as possible. It goes back to the same idea of this. Now, the next example of why I prefer to play 3 is you don't have to use this card's effect to search out for the killer. You can activate this card's effect to actually search out any of these that you need, and then from there you're going to be able to actually complete your scale much faster and be able to get 3 of those monsters out, then be able to tribute for the killer. Now that we have those examples established, let's go ahead and give you the example of why dropping this card first is much superior compared to dropping this card second. So let's go ahead and use this side area kind of as an example. Just like, let's say we summon this card. Now, if the other player does not actually throw this card down, let's say their board is completely blank. They don't leave anything, they have all their cards in their hand, they're waiting for that last card that they need to actually complete the scale, throw down all 3, then go for the killer. Now, if I activate this card's effect, I'm going to be able to make you go -1, which unless you're going to draw into a card that lets you go +1, for example, like Pot of Greed is the best example, or a more legal card would be something like Cup of Ace, where you can actually go ahead and get +1. You're not going to be able to drop the killer. And if you go ahead and establish your board, let's say you complete your pendulum scale, you throw out whatever you can. Now, I can do the same thing on my turn, but if I drop a killer after that, I'm going to be able to disrupt your pendulum scale, which usually means disrupting tool, because that's the best card that you should be destroying. And then I'm also going to be bouncing back your card, which doesn't really matter, but I'm going to be able to hit 1 card out of your hand with this card's effect also, which is definitely going to be nice. Oh, also, as another quick little tip, if your opponent doesn't have back when you're playing mirror match, just summon all of your stuff first, then attack, then go for this, and then main phase 2 just activate its effect, because you get just a little bit more damage that way. It's not very much damage, because usually, like I said, whoever drops this first is usually the winner of the duel anyways. So that other effect, for once per turn, I'm going to make you go -1. If you didn't drop your killer, because there's really no reason why you would just hold killer in your hand. So let's say I drop this card, I make you go -1. If you couldn't make killer, I'm going to make you go -1, so you still can't make killer the next turn, unless, of course, you happen to luck sack or you, for whatever reason, you didn't drop it, okay? Let's say that next turn you drop the killer. Obviously, you can't touch this card at all other than using killer to basically get rid of it. And this is all talking about mirror match, by the way. You're going to drop your killer, and pretty much the only thing that's going to get over killer is, of course, another copy of killer, because it's unaffected by everything. It's not only your opponent. So keep that in mind. That's kind of important too. So you can't really like boost its attack up or anything like that. It's unaffected by spell traps and effect monsters, and of course the lower rank, whatever. But the main idea is there's nothing that's getting over killer other than killer. So let's say, like I said, I have killer out, I get rid of one of your cards, and somehow you luck into being able to make a killer. You go ahead and go for your killer, and you go ahead and crash into mine. Your board is now blank, and I've already made my killer, so therefore I should have had my pendulum scale, of course, unless I normal summon multiple times, which, let's be realistic, that can happen, but more than likely it's because I completed my pendulum scale, and that's how I got out my card, and that's also how you got out yours. But your board's going to be blank because you had to tribute 3 to actually get out your card. You go ahead and crash, and if you don't crash, I'm just going to go ahead and pendulum, and then I'm going to crash, and I'm going to beat you anyways, because not only will I get my search off of tool next turn anyways, unless of course you disrupt it, and of course, and hopefully I would be able to complete my scale. But what it comes down to is your board is going to be blank. I'm going to be able to hopefully make my pendulums, and then I'm going to just push for game. And that's what's going to happen, because before I go for killer first, I'm going to hit you for a minimum of, I mean, depending on what ones you go for and what ones other things that you have that can, you know, boost its attack up or something like that. For the most part, I would say it's probably 4,000 minimum. Actually more on the 5,000 side, because if you're getting it for 3, yeah, it's pretty much, it's 5,000 minimum. Like, and at that point, I'm just going to go ahead and I just need to deal a little bit more damage. Even if it was 4,000, you're basically losing half your life points in one turn before I drop this card. Then when I actually, go for my pendulum play next turn, it should be another easy 4,000 plus. So that's the explanation of why I prefer to run 3. Like I said, I encourage you guys to disagree with me, but I would love to know, you know, why. Like I said, try the deck yourself, and you'll really notice that whoever drops this card first wins. And I know it is searchable, and some of you guys were like, but it's searchable. Like I said, you don't have to search for it. You can search for another card and then complete your scale and make it go much faster. Because I've played only running 2, and I was like, no, you have to play 3. You really do. In my personal opinion. Like I said, this is all my opinion. Like I said, feel free to disagree with me, but give me your explanations on why. I mean, if you guys think that dropping Killer second is better, I would love to hear an explanation on that, because I really don't see any upside to it, because like I said, the player that drops the Killer first gets to disrupt all the pendulums. Usually I'm going to be able to destroy this, and then from there I'm also going to make you go -1, so it's going to be a very hard battle for you to actually fight out of. But if you've got the heart of the cards, maybe you're going to be able to do it. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, and you guys watched this video for some reason, even though I told you to watch the previous one, hey, it's still in the link in the description box below. It's basically a deck profile. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope this gives you guys a better explanation of why playing 3 Killer is much better than playing 1. But see you guys later. Azneyes out.